All right, good morning, everyone. How is everyone today? Hello and welcome to the stream. What's up, what's up? Welcome to the fallout of yesterday's marathon and also Fallout New Vegas. It's a double Fallout stream today in every sense of the word. How about that? So today is Sunday, the 8th of August, 2021. I am Darkside Phil, or DSP for short, and I welcome you all here. How's everyone? I hope you're doing well. I hope you guys are ready for some fun today. It's time for some fun gameplay streaming, my friends. Good stuff coming up today. Good variety of stuff. First of all, let's take a moment to just relax and reminisce on yesterday and what happened, because yesterday was a great day, my friends. Yesterday we had the Game Pass Marathon event, and it went really well. People really seemed to enjoy it. 5 different games. Actually, I take that back. Wasn't it 6 different games? I'm trying to remember if it was 5 or 6, but many different games were played of many different genres, and people really seemed to like the variety. Halo, PUBG, Vermintide 2, The Medium, The Ascent. What else? I'm trying to think of all the shit. There was more. Oh, Last Stop, and maybe it was something else. I can't really remember. There was so much that was played, it's actually hard for me to remember exactly what was played. Because, man, we did a ton. Look at Jasper. He's on top of the freaking chair here. See, this is why I knew when I was looking for a chair, it had to be a fabric chair. He already climbs on top of the chair. And if this had been pleather or leather, his claws would have already went zoop and got me big holes in it. Because it's fabric, it's fine. See, I know what I'm doing. So anyway, it was a great marathon. Plus, of course, there was a live edition of Feasting with the King. And people really liked it. It was an interesting episode, to say the least. Didn't necessarily go exactly as I had hoped or planned because of what happened during the episode. I don't know if you guys saw it yet or not. But basically, if you have not seen... Oh, by the way, yes, the return of the Sonic Hat as well. People were talking about that. That the Sonic Hat returned. Indeed, it did. So, if you guys did not see yesterday's marathon, all of the gameplay and the pre-stream is currently live right here on DSPGaming. And the Feasting with the King episode is currently live over on the King of Hate Vlogs channel. Alright? So, if you want to get caught up, you want to know what's what, that's where you can do it. Alright? I urge you, certainly if you did not see the episode of Feasting with the King, it's definitely worth watching. I mean, what the hell? I couldn't believe what happened. But I'm not going to spoil if you didn't see it. I urge you to go watch it yourself. Okay? Fair enough. Alright, so... all good stuff. It was a great marathon. And by the way, I should say this. Usually, when I do a marathon, okay, by the end of the marathon, because, you know, I'm oh, Jasper, careful. Watch where you're stepping. Don't step on a wire. He did. He stepped right on it and made a loud noise. Usually, when I'm doing a marathon, by the end of said marathon, my body is physically exhausted. Physically freaking exhausted. Okay? Just feels like crap. Okay? And it sucks because I don't like that, obviously. When I'm doing a lengthy stream of gameplay, I can understand why I don't feel so good at the end of it, you know, but it's just kind of a necessary evil of streaming that long and putting out a fun marathon for you guys. But here's the deal. I didn't feel that way yesterday. And I really feel the major reason why is because of my new chair. Because this chair has the proper back support. Even though I was sitting in the chair for most of the day, not even really moving, by the end of the day, I stood up. I felt energetic. I didn't feel stiff. I didn't feel like, oh, you know, I'm in pain and, you know, I've been in this chair all day. It actually felt much, much better. So, that's obviously a positive improvement. And, that makes me feel good about future events, future marathons. As long as I'm able to sit in this chair, I think I'll be all right. You remember I used to do the retrospective marathons over at the PC in the other chair that's a piece of shit, and I'd actually feel crappy during those too. But I legitimately feel good. Like, this is, I was shocked. I got up and I was like, I don't feel sore. I don't feel drained. I feel good. How is this possible? I was like blown away. So, if anything, I would argue all of these contributions to the streams recently, the Xbox Series X, the new laptop, and of course, this chair. This is all helping me dramatically. Seriously, like, way more than I even imagined that it would. This stuff is improving my content and my streams, and I'm feeling really good about this. So, thank you to those who did donate stuff recently, and thanks to those who have been tuning into the new stuff. I think it's been really exciting. Okay, yeah, I had a great time yesterday. So, yeah, again, if you didn't see it yet, check it out. It's all live. Gameplay is live on DSPGaming, and the Feasting with the King is live on the King of Hate Vlogs channel. Now, FYI, I just saw Fergo say, am I going to upload Last Stop to DSPGaming? All the gameplay is there. I did notice that Last Stop got Content ID claimed because it had licensed music in it. And I knew that was going to happen playing it. When it started playing the licensed music, I said, I'm going to make no money on this video. I knew it. But that's always the case with YouTube these days. You just can't have any licensed music in any games anymore. Everything gets claimed by every freaking company under the sun. But it should be live. I'm looking at it. It has views on it and everything. It's not like, oh, the video was blocked and no one can watch it. It definitely, was watched by people overnight. So if you can't see it, likely it's because something happened maybe in your country with that song. I don't know. But it should be fine. And also, I should call this out. There are several games during yesterday's marathon that I played that are going to end up being ongoing playthrough style content. And what I mean by that is I'm actually going to do playthroughs of them. Okay? Some of the games, for example, definitely Last Stop, definitely The Medium, and likely, moving forward, I'll probably be doing maybe a weekly session of Halo Master Chief Collection multiplayer, and maybe a few other things too. But I have not set up playlists for those yet, because I haven't really done a major stream. Jasper? No. Do not mess with that wire. You're going to get this bottle. He's already messing with wires. But anyway, yeah. I didn't start playlists for those yet, because I haven't necessarily had a actual gameplay stream of those games yet. You see what I'm saying? So once I do, then you'll see playlists set up for those. Okay? Jasper, what did I just say? No. You don't bite my headphone wire. You're going to get sprayed by this bottle if you do it again. Now he's booping the bottle. You're going to get sprayed if you bite that wire again. I mean it. Here, I'm going to put the bottle right next to the wire. Do not touch that wire, or you're in trouble, Buster. Don't do it. Okay. So anyway, yes. So yeah, if you're, I want to watch the playthrough. Phil already did 2 parts of The Medium, and he did 2 parts of Last Stop, but there's no playlist. Don't worry, there will be playlists probably later this week. In fact, tomorrow is my first major stream of The Medium, where I'm actually going to start up that playthrough in a major way. So tomorrow will actually be my first, when I'll set up the playlist for that one. Okay? Fair enough? Okay. So there's good stuff coming up this week. All right, let's talk about the coming week, because, ladies and gentlemen, it's pretty remarkable. Because I have an Xbox Series X now, okay, everything has changed. I mean that, too. Like, so much has changed. Just take a look at the content that I'm doing this week, and you're going to be like, what the heck? Like, everything I'm doing is on the Xbox Series X. Seriously. Like, pretty much every single thing I'm doing this week. So, this has completely changed the face of my streams, all right? Today, it's Fallout New Vegas on the main gameplay stream. And today what we're going to do is we're going to finish up Cass's Followers quest line, which isn't too lengthy. We've already finished most of it, actually. So we're just going to finish that up, and then we're going to start the Honest Hearts DLC. It's the perfect time to do so, because we just did the plot line for Caesar, or Caesar, and in that plot line, we learned about the Burned Man, someone who used to be a head general for Caesar, only he went to the Hoover Dam and failed at his mission. Well, Caesar isn't one for failure, and he burned the guy alive, but the guy is such a badass, he survived. So, that is pretty much, you know, what the focus of the Honest Hearts DLC is. I remember you meet up with this guy, and then there's a bunch of interaction with the new groups and stuff during it. It should be pretty fun, okay? So we're starting that today. If I remember correctly, that DLC is between 5 to 7 hours long, because the reason I say that is these DLCs used to come out in the middle of the night on Xbox Live. They would release at like 12, 1 o'clock. And what I would do, I would sit there and I would play them all night long until I beat them. And I would upload them immediately to DSPGaming overnight. So I would be one of the first, if not the first person to cover the DLCs. Keep in mind, this was way before there were selected influencer content creators who got every piece of content for a game way early. This was actually back when, like, everyone had a fair shake of playing everything at exactly the same time. I know that sounds like a pipe dream that ever happened, right? No, actually, there was a time when actually everyone could play a game at once, and there weren't, you know, a select group of people who had entire playthroughs of shit up before you could even buy the game. I know, very different from today, but that's how it used to be. Anyway, I digress. The reason I bring this up is I know the DLC isn't too lengthy, because I remember this is one of the ones that I actually beat in one sitting. So, should be a good time today. All right, I'm excited to start up this DLC. Probably won't beat it today. Probably another major stream to wrap it up. But it should be a good time, okay? Later tonight, the late stream is going to be more Microsoft Flight Simulator. Okay? And we're going to start off tonight in Australia, because the top contributor last time, Joel, said that he wanted me to go to this rock in Australia. I think it's called the Uluru Rock or something like that. So we'll do that, but then after that, who knows where we'll go, right? Who knows where the game will take us or where we'll choose to go. You know? We'll have to see. It's going to be fun, I feel. It's going to be a good time. Every time I've played this so far, you guys seem to enjoy it because it's something very different and chill, right? So that's tonight, 6:45 p.m. Pacific time, okay? Now tomorrow, the first major stream actually doing a playthrough of the Medium, okay? That's going to be on the first gameplay stream tomorrow. I'm excited for that. I'm only about 2 hours into the game at this point, and I'm really liking it. I like the vibe. I like the plot line so far. We're just getting used to the gameplay mechanics of it. And the graphics actually are quite good too. So, yes, looking forward to the Medium actually continuing as a playthrough starting tomorrow, okay? Then, on Monday night, I'm either going to be doing PUBG, PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, or a late night stream of Master Chief Collection multiplayer. Which one will it be? It's up to you. And what I would argue is, if, you know, whatever you guys want to see, let me know today. I'm going to be asking during all my streams today, you know, what would you guys like to see tomorrow? And based on your feedback, that's going to determine what I actually do on tomorrow's late night stream. Okay? So, do you want PUBG or do you want Master Chief Collection multiplayer? Alright? I feel either would be great. You know, PUBG is chill because we get to relax for the first 20 minutes or so as I'm looting, and we get to talk and interact and have fun conversation. And then, of course, it gets suspenseful at the end of the game when we start to get down to the point where it's like the final ring and stuff. I'm just getting back into the swing of things, and it's actually the first time that I've ever been able to play the game with responsive controls. So, it's actually quite different than what I used to do when I used to play this thing on Xbox One. So, yeah, let's see. Do you guys want me to play PUBG or Halo? Halo, here's the thing. Halo, I'm not very good at right now, but that's because I haven't played it in years. Once I get back to the swing of things with Halo, maybe playing it once a week, I'll get used to it again, the controls and everything, and then I'll probably end up doing much better. And what I'm doing is I'm trying to prepare for Halo Infinite, and if I don't play Halo, I'll be, like, so rusty, right? So, let's see what you guys want. Right now, it looks like 2 people said PUBG, and one person said Halo. So, we'll see what you guys want. I'll keep bringing it up today. Keep trying to get your opinion on that, okay? I'm off from streaming on Tuesday. I return on Wednesday. Excuse me. And this week is going to be very unique. All right? Very unique in what I'm doing because, again, it's almost 100% stuff from the Xbox Series X. Almost 100%. So, let's very briefly just kind of run through the week so you know what to expect. Let me get the schedule open here. So on Wednesday, the main gameplay stream is going to be Fallout New Vegas, the second session of Honest Hearts, okay? Wednesday night is going to be a late night stream of The Medium, okay? Thursday, August 12th, it's going to be Back 4 Blood's open beta. That's right, 100% everyone will be able to play the Back 4 Blood beta. You won't need a code or anything like you needed this last week. This time around, it'll be open for absolutely everyone to play, and I'm going to be checking it out that day, okay? So, pretty cool. And then, that late stream on Thursday is going to be Last Stop, the narrative-based game from Annapurna Interactive that I've been playing 2 sessions of, and so far the first 2 hours were outstanding, great writing, very entertaining, okay? Good stuff. So that is going to be Thursday. Friday is the premiere of Hades, which is available finally on Xbox consoles under Xbox Game Pass this Friday, so I'm checking it out. Hades is a game that last year was rated by many people to be one of the best games of the year as a roguelike, okay? And when I was actually playing Returnal, people were telling me, man, we really wish that you had played a better roguelike game such as Hades, because that's a better representation of what the genre is, and actually is a much better game. So finally, I'll actually get my hands on it and be able to play it starting this Friday. Now, I am not committing to a full playthrough of Hades. What I'd like to do is play it on Friday, see what I think. If I like it, maybe do another session, and then from there decide if this is something that I'd like to continue on as a full playthrough or not. But I like the flexibility that it's under Game Pass, that I can try it, and I don't have any committal to having to continue doing it because I didn't spend any money on it, you see? As opposed to, oh, I got to drop a big amount of money to buy it and play it, and now I'm kind of feel like I'm obligated to finish it because I bought it, you see? It feels a lot different than that, all right? So, that should be fun on Friday. Of course, Friday night is my usual throwback session of old school Street Fighter fun. And then over the course of this weekend, it's going to be really dependent on how this week goes. So please allow me to explain, guys. In fact, if I don't think this is set up, I got to fix it. Yeah, I knew. Look at this. This is hideous. Look at my disgusting face. Oh my god. That's really disturbing. Let me zoom out for a minute. Because yesterday I kind of explained this on the pre-stream, and I want to make sure that everyone understands what's going on this week with me. You know I'm an honest guy, okay? So here's the deal, all right? Now that I'm full-time streaming on YouTube, I'm making way less money via YouTube than I used to via when I was a full-time streamer on Twitch. Why? Because subscriptions, let's face it, I used to have 800 to 900 subscriptions on Twitch. I currently have 237 on YouTube. They're called memberships here, okay? And in addition, I used to constantly get cheers and stuff over on Twitch. I do get a good amount of super chats here on YouTube, but it's not as many as I used to make on Twitch. So getting, you know, basically kicked out of the partner program for no valid reason whatsoever a couple months ago has pretty negatively affected me, all right? Here's what I'm basically facing every month. I get paid by YouTube around the 21st of the month. That money goes to my taxes, utilities, insurance payments, condo dues, internet bills, etc. It goes towards kind of all those things, all those bills. But it dries up around right now. Like all that money from my YouTube payment basically dries up around now. And I'm pretty much reliant on tips from you guys to pay everything else. So for example, coming up in the next few days, I've got my condo dues are due, the internet bill is due. That's all around the 10th to 11th of the month. Usually different, you know, it's not the same day every month, usually around the 10th or 11th. Then on the 15th, my mortgage is due. Okay? So that being said, all the tips I'm raising right now every single day are going towards those bills. Okay? Just every single dollar is going towards that. There's nothing else I can do. I have to put the money towards it. I don't have any other income right now. Okay? So this week, if I'm streaming and I'm doing really well and I'm hitting the tips goals every stream and everything, okay? Great. That's spectacular. If I hit the tips goal every stream, likely I'd be out in the clear. I'd be good. I'd be able to afford all my bills and everything would be good. But let's be realists here. Do I hit the tips goal every stream? No, I definitely don't. I don't actually expect to hit the tips goal every stream. In reality, it's hard to hit the tips goal every stream. Every game is different. It brings in a different audience. Having streams at different times of the day brings in different audiences. And not every day is going to be chock full of support. Just this last week, I had a Mass Effect 3 conclusion stream that raised $7. And the thing is, that's okay. As long as it evens out over time, it doesn't really matter. But because I'm currently in a situation where basically, I am incredibly tight on funds because I'm now streaming on YouTube. Right now is like it's such an important time of the month for me because I need to raise as much as possible on every stream to get past the mortgage payment and all of that. Once I get paid by YouTube around the 21st, then I'm usually in the clear for a few weeks until I get back to this first week kind of situation again next month. Now, people are basically saying, well, it's like this every month. You're right. You're absolutely right. There's nothing I can do about it. I got kicked out of the partner program on Twitch for no reason, and I lost a ton of income because of it. I've got to find a way to make ends meet. And for me, I would think the best way to do that would be to stick the course, stay the course, and keep dedicating myself to this channel, trying to do my best as a full-time live streamer on YouTube. If you haven't noticed, in the last 2 months, we've seen really big growth. I mean, last month we were like, what, 150? And now we're at 237 and growing memberships. Super chats are up. They're way up. Compared to when I first started on here, like the last 2 months, it's been growing and growing. What I think is happening is people are getting used to me being a full-time streamer here. And on top of all of that, okay, there's so much new content now that's going to be coming out. Every week, there's going to be 1 or 2 major new releases, starting just in 1 week with Hades, and then after that, every week there's a new release. September, every week there's major new releases. October, November, we're in the busiest gaming time of the year. So I get the feeling we're going to see more people on the streams, more people who are going to be coming out for the bigger playthroughs and wanting to support. Once I build this channel back up to where my Twitch channel was, I should be fine. I shouldn't be in any situation where I have to talk to you like this and be like, guys, I need help because I got to pay my bills for the next week. All right? It should be, it's all good because there's enough coming in now that we're back to where we were, and it shouldn't be a big deal. But right now, that's very much not the case, okay? Right now, in this next week, I need to try to raise this goal every single stream. And if I do, I should be good. But likely, that's not a realistic thing or a realistic expectation. It's doubtful that it's going to happen. So here's what's going to happen, excuse me, this week. If everything goes really well every stream, then we're just going to do standard gameplay streaming all week long, no problem, everything's good. But if by the end of the week, I look and I'm like, man, there were several streams this week where we didn't hit the tips goal, and I'm looking at my finances, okay, here's what's due when. If I don't have enough, I'm going to have to do some kind of an emergency fundraiser next weekend. All right, now last month, it was a Fallout marathon. It went really well. People loved it. We did a special episode of That's How Feasting with the King debuted and everything. So let's see what happens, okay? My mentality is thus. Play it by ear this week, stay positive, see what happens this week, and hopefully everything goes well. And if it does, then we're good. We'll just keep doing standard double gameplay streams like I do every single day. But if, let's say, by Friday of this coming week, I look and I'm like, man, my mortgage is due in 2 days and I can't afford it. I'm going to have to do an emergency fundraiser on Saturday. Okay? It'll be Fallout likely. And maybe I'll even do some special stuff for it. Maybe I'll even do a special episode of DSP Tries It. Yes, not Feasting with the King, but maybe an episode of DSP Tries It where I'll get like a fast food sandwich or something that's new and try it out during the stream or something like that. So that's basically the deal. I can't tell you what's happening next weekend until I see how this week goes. If this week goes great, then next weekend we'll just have standard gameplay streams. We'll have the medium and Fallout kind of alternating as the early stream. Maybe Hades in there too if I like it on Friday. And the late streams will be Flight Simulator, Halo, PUBG, and trying to finish up Last Stop. But if things don't go so well this week and I need help, then I'm going to probably do a marathon-style stream on Saturday to raise funds to pay my mortgage, okay? Just being honest. Okay, that's what's going to happen. So I wanted to try to lay it out for you. I wish I could promise you something next weekend. I don't know what's going to happen next weekend. It depends on how the week goes. All right, and you never know. You might have people come this week and say, oh, well, because we heard about this now, we want to help Phil, and they rally, and every stream's great. Or it could end up being a slow week. I don't know, I just do my thing. And, it's always been my mentality that if I'm putting out an entertaining and fun stream with cool social interactions, that if you guys can support it, you will. But I also know that that's not exactly reasonable to expect every single stream, you see? So we'll see what happens and go from there, okay? Fergo, I already answered this. I did upload Last Stop to DSPGaming. Both parts, the first part from the other day and last night's part, is live on DSPGaming. I don't know why you think it's not. It is. It has views on it and everything. So I don't know why you don't think it's there, Fergo. It definitely is. Okay. All right, so that is the deal. And that's hopefully things go well this week, all right? Hopefully things go well this week. I want them to go well this week. I want to have a nice chill week of streams with you guys, all Xbox Series X. By the way, just think about what I just told you with this schedule. Literally, every game I'm playing this week is on Xbox Series X except for Street Fighter. Every single stream, every day, is on Xbox Series X. So what a difference that getting this console has made to my streams. You know what I mean? It's pretty damn amazing. So, good stuff. All right. Outside of that, guys, very briefly, I'd just like to let you know that I am an independent content creator. I don't have a sponsorship or a partnership with anyone. I am kind of like a guy doing his own thing, an island among an ocean of content, right? I'm of myself. I really am isolated, and people like the style that I do stuff. They feel that it's different than what everyone else does. You don't hear me shilling games and products on here. You know that when you watch my content, I'm being honest with you. And I've done this for 13 years and going. One of the longest running content creators out there and still going strong. So if you like this style of content, if you appreciate the way that I do stuff, and you want to support it, thank you in advance for wanting to support it. Seriously. There are many ways you can do so. You can become a channel member, which gives you many different benefits, including a highlighted name in chat, getting cool emotes to use in the chat, not having to abide by slow mode rules, and getting a cool crown to show how long you've actually been a channel supporter. Okay? So please consider becoming a member if you're not. We have a member goal, 275 members by the end of this month, and if we do hit that, I'll be doing another fun marathon just like yesterday next month. What would it be? Hey, it could be anything. It could be a retrospective event where we look back at the past and I kind of do commentary and reactions to my old content. It could be a Rageathon. It could be an Indies marathon. It could be another Game Pass marathon. But no matter what, these marathons have been turning out really well, so it could be fun. Now, you could also do a super chat or super sticker. These are ways to contribute straight through YouTube. Either one of those, you'll get a cool pop-up in the chat itself. And basically, I will give you a shout-out as well, you know, for those contributions. Or you could tip me. And being very honest with all of you, tipping me right now is the way to go. If you can tip me, please tip me today rather than the other ways of support, because I need to raise funds to pay my condo dues, the internet bill, and my mortgage all within the next week. Okay? So how do you tip? If you look at the description of the stream, you'll find a link, or you could type !tip into the stream chat. Either way, brings you up a link to go to my tips page where you can leave a tip. All right? If you leave any kind of a contribution today, I'm going to give you a positive shout out. As long as you are in line with the rules of the stream and you're not trying to personally derail the stream or say something disgusting or insulting, etc., then I'm just going to ban your ass. Okay? Very nice. I'm very appreciative of all of your contributions. Any way that you contribute, and even if you can't contribute, just coming to chill with me, I really appreciate that. I'm a gamer at heart. I've been doing this my whole life. It is my hobby as well as my job, and that's why I love doing this so much, because it really is incredibly fun to me. It's not just work. It's not just a paycheck. So I'm happy that anyone just wants to come and chill with me. But obviously, if you can support the stream, by all means, please do, considering this is my livelihood. All right? Very nice. So all that being said, my friends, thank you in advance for a great day. I think this is going to be a great day. We're going to have a lot of fun. And, you know, I can't wait. I cannot wait for a fun day of content here with all of you. And I know that you guys are looking forward to very fun gameplay streaming, as always, right? It's always good stuff. Okay. Now, in regards to, like, gaming news and stuff, yet again, I've been searching around, and the only real game news that I have to talk about today, sadly, is not very good positive news. For those who don't know, which you very well might not even know, because it's pretty much a non-event at this point, EVO is happening. EVO? What's that? That still exists? Well, yes and no. For those who don't know, EVO, or the Evolution Fighting Game Championships, used to be the biggest fighting game tournament in the world. Okay? Used to be. Alright? But, last year, the entire tournament fell apart for two very good reasons. The first was COVID, All right, and COVID just completely destroyed everything because no one could have in-person tournaments anymore. The entire year was essentially canceled. All right. Then Evo said, well, we're going to do an online-only tournament then, since we can't meet in person. But then it was essentially revealed that the CEO of Evo, Mr. Wizard, Joey Queller, had basically done some really heinous things in his youth that he'd never actually been publicly called out for, and someone finally publicly called him out for with evidence. And I don't really want to get into that because it's gross as hell anyway. And essentially, I had to deal with these guys who ran Evo many, many years myself, dealing with their corruption, dealing with the way that they mistreated people and unevenly ran their tournaments. And over the years, as I saw them become more and more powerful in the fighting game community, it just became more and more disturbing and upsetting because I knew that the people who ran Evo were not exactly the best people on the planet. They were just full of money so they could do it. So essentially, this all blew up last year. And when it did, Evo got canceled because they essentially they said no one's going to go to Evo when the guy who you made the head of Evo is essentially like a child abuser or slash pedophile, whatever you want to call him. And they knew this and basically never did anything about it. Instead, they continuously pushed this guy into positions of power further and further to the point where he was the head of Evo. Okay? So, that being said, it was canceled last year. And Evo ended up being sold to Sony. Now, if that doesn't prove that there was always some kind of a behind-the-scenes collusion between Sony and Evo, I don't know what does it, what would. There was always suspect that there was some kind of a business relationship between Sony and Evo because Evo always used to lean towards using Sony consoles for the event rather than Microsoft, even though in some instances Microsoft consoles were very much so accepted as the tournament standard for certain fighting games. They always played them on PlayStation consoles anyway. Okay? So, that being said, Sony bought out Evo and no one really knew what was going to happen with it. And then it was announced a few months ago that Evo this year again would be online only, even though it really wasn't last year. It was canceled. They said it would be an online only event. And, you know, people registered and are playing actually essentially, you know, they're in the finals of it this weekend. Although you may not have heard much about it or anything because essentially Evo completely has lost any hype or anything behind it. No one's really talking about it or cares about it. Now, of course, that's an overgeneralization. The reason I say it that way is because Evo used to be the prime event for fighting games. It would have record numbers of viewers every year. This year is so bad, they had to cancel the streams for some of the tournaments because they couldn't even get it to work. They had games running, and it was running in Guilty Gear Strive was finals last night, and it was like freezing and lagging up. I don't mean the stream, I mean the game. Like, these are supposed to be high-level tournament matches. These are supposed to be the best of the best, and it was lag. And apparently the organizers were blaming it on, like, players were in Brazil and stuff. I don't know. The way I see it, you cannot have a serious competitive fighting game tournament online ever. The internet of the world, simply put, does not have an equivalent infrastructure to do that. So, if you weren't aware, you know, that Evo is going on, by all means, go check it out. There's some high-level gameplay going on. I believe yesterday was Guilty Gear Strive and Tekken, and I think they're doing the regional finals for Street Fighter V, and then, like, the big finals of Street Fighter V maybe today or something like that. But essentially, the very first attempt at a ginormous major trying to be online only has failed miserably. It's been proven you just can't do this right now. As I've been saying for many, many years, the internet is not equivalent in everywhere. The internet in the western United States isn't even the same as the eastern United States. So how do you expect that someone playing from one part of the country, playing someone in Brazil, playing someone in Europe, playing somewhere else, how do you expect these connections are going to be good? You know? People have these weird pipe dreams that the internet is so good. How the fuck do you think online services like Google, what was it called? I can't even remember what it was called. Google or whatever? The service that doesn't even work because you can't, you know, the games don't even download and work properly because you're trying to stream them rather than have an actual console to play them on. Like, how do you even think this is going to work when our internet infrastructure isn't ready for it? You know? I don't know. Oh, Stadia. That's what it was. Google Stadia. I forgot the name of it because it's such a non-entity. I totally forgot it even exists. You know? But you see my point? Like, it just, this does not work. You can't do online tournaments like this. And if Sony, with all of their resources, can't do it, then no one can do it. We gotta wait for COVID to end if you want fighting games to basically return at a competitive level. Unless the internet of the world gets fucking upgraded, it ain't gonna happen. You know? So, check it out if you want. But don't be expecting too much. Because apparently it is a lag fest. Essentially, you know, a lot of people have criticized it very strongly. Oh, by the way, they already had blatant tournament violations where someone is supposedly playing. Oh, guess what? That's not them playing. They invited someone else over their house, and that person's playing for them. And it's like, what? So I mean, these online tournaments just open up a whole new realm of abuse and issues. I invited over another top player, and that top player is playing in my place during the tournament. That was great. So anyway, yes, all this is happening. But I still encourage you to give it a look. I do encourage you to give it a look. What I would hope is that eventually, these tournaments will get much better online. And, you know, maybe one day the internet infrastructure will be finally upgraded to the point where we can have valid online play. We're not even close to that right now. Not even, you know, in any way, shape, or form are we close to having valid online tournament play. It's laggy as fuck. Everything's crashing. It's hilariously stupid. Okay. Really, that's all I have to talk about today. Like I said, there's no real gaming news going on. So let's get to shout-outs. This morning, we had some super chats from Little Crow Gaming. So shout out to Little Crow Gaming for some super chats. I appreciate that. We also had David St. James from iCarly, who just did a super chat and said, any interest in flying over places you played tournaments at or even finding the old condo in Flight Sim? Yes. Eventually, yes. Like I said, I think one of the biggest things I will do, I could fly over Connecticut and try to get as low as I can. I could likely see a ton of shit that I know in Connecticut, where my parents live, where I used to live, all like Bearsley Park Zoo and stuff. I could go to the local malls I used to go to. I could fly over streets and show you, oh, look, there's a bunch of food places I used to go to and stuff. You know, all of that. But I feel like that's almost like the culmination of it, because that's the best thing I could personally do. You know what I'm saying? Like, and by the way, there's no way I'm putting from iCarly and stuff out there. I'm just going to say David St. James because I'm not going to put ginormous names on the leaderboard. But yeah, like, my feeling is that's something that, like, should be one of the biggest things I do. Maybe we have a special event for when I do stuff like that or whatever, because that could be the entirety of a freaking stream. You know what I'm saying? So, anyway, yes, maybe someday. It just hasn't happened yet. Right now, people are basically like, they want to see me see major cities and landmarks and things like that. I feel like that other stuff will come later on. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Let's see here. Okay, so that's it for Super Chats. Let's move on to those who tipped. Rob was the first tipper of today. He tipped me $4.20, and he says, what an absolute hidden gem that Last Stop is. That's how you make a Life is Strange game. Yeah, I agree with you. For those who have not been following along my Last Stop coverage, I've played it twice now. And each time, man, the writing is outstanding. Like, the writing is genuinely entertaining. And I have no idea where the plot is going in this game, even though I'm 2 hours in. And it's interesting because you're switching between completely different groups of people. Like, seriously, I agree with Rob. This is, like, incredibly well done. One of the best kind of choose-your-own-adventure style games that I've ever played, at least in recent memory. And I'm curious to see where it's going to go and if it's going to get better, you know, as we play more of it later on this week. So, I'm totally in agreement with Rob. Check it out, man. It's 2 videos already, and there'll be many more coming up soon as I continue through the game. All right? Crazy Jewish Emperor, nice name, to me $2.10 says, would you be able to do a marathon of a game when you confirm it's the end of the game? For example, instead of stretching a game over several streams when it's in the final missions, can we do one giant stream and be done? I don't know if you're open to suggestions. See, I like that idea because you're right. It allows us to kind of have a resolution rather than oh, gotta keep dragging it out, keep dragging it out, keep waiting, keep waiting. I basically did that with Danganronpa V3. Even though typically I only do 2-hour late streams, I did essentially a 4-hour stream to finish it because I was at the end game. I was like, dude, I don't want this to keep continuing. I need this over with. And I know what you're saying, what you're talking about here, because you're like, oh, why not do a marathon at the end of a game? The thing is, you got to understand that most games that I play, most, not all, but most games that I play, I'm doing honest first-time playthroughs. And essentially what that means, okay? Well, essentially what that means is that, hold on, I'm getting distracted. My phone keeps freaking vibrating here. Hold on. Okay, let's try this again. Let me put the phone down so I stop getting distracted. What it means is that when I play a game, I'm usually playing it honestly and not knowing exactly what's left in the game. You know what I'm saying? Like, for example, Hades. I'm going to play it this Friday. I have no idea what to expect. I've never played it before. I'm not spoiling myself on it. All I know, it's a roguelike. I don't know how long the stages are. I don't know anything about it. That's how I like to play most new release games that I play. So, I understand what you're saying. It does make sense if I knew, oh, there's exactly 3 hours of gameplay left in this game, I should do a lengthy stream today to finish this up so that way it's not lingering, right? The problem is I usually don't know. And I hate to say it too. A lot of the times my audience does know, but for some odd reason, is just not able to portray that to me in an accurate fashion. Because there's been many games recently where I'm like, how much is left? And we're like, oh, an hour. I play an hour, we're not even close to being done. I'm like, what the hell is going on? Right? This has happened many times. So, here's a perfect example. I've been playing Fallout New Vegas for a very long time. About a month and a half now, right? Today we're going to start up a DLC. I'll probably finish the DLC later in the week. Then essentially we've got maybe a few more follow requests and things to do. Then we're going to head to the finale of the game. Well, the finale of the game is essentially doing the Lonesome Road DLC and then the fight at Hoover Dam, and then it's done. You see? So maybe, depending on the length of the Lonesome Road DLC, which I don't know, maybe I could do a finale stream, right, where we finish that DLC, do the Hoover Dam, finish the whole playthrough, right? That makes sense. But again, I don't know because usually I don't look this stuff up or whatever. And for new releases, it's actually a lot harder to figure out. So, I like the idea. And I don't like having lingering playthroughs. I don't. I like, if I'm near the end, I just want, or even for example, in Danganronpa, when I was at the end of a case and I had a cliffhanger and I had to wait to finish it, I was like, oh, that sucks, man. Obviously, I want to finish that case and find out what's actually going on, right? So, yeah, it is what it is. We'll see. I like the suggestion. We'll have to see if there's a potential for playthroughs like that to actually finish during the course of this year, okay? Strongback tipped me $4.20, says, I remember your first time reaction in May 2011 when you first played this DLC, Honest Hearts. You discovered you could have more weight inventory after dropping weight in a Foot Locker. You responded 100 pounds or less, F word, S word, cock and dick. I didn't think I could do that. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what that means. Are you saying that at that point I didn't know that you could upgrade via, like, perks and you could carry more inventory? Or are you saying that in this DLC there's something specific that happens with inventory? I don't really understand what you're saying. The good news is I absolutely have already upgraded pretty much to the max what I can carry except for upgrading my strength all the way. But I have the 2 perks to carry more stuff, so if that's an issue, I think I should be okay in this DLC. I guess we'll find out. But thank you for the tip, and if you want to elaborate a little more, I'd appreciate that. I don't exactly understand what you're saying, but I think I kind of got the gist of it. Okay? Snow Carl tipped $1.30, and here we go again. He basically says that he feels that trying to hit tips goals every day like this is unreasonable, and that I should change my entire lifestyle and everything. All right, Snow Carl. All right, allow me to explain something to you. I'm going to try to be as nice as possible. All right, I am. I'm going to try to be as nice as possible. You ready? Here we go. I'm going to talk directly to Snow Carl now, everyone, so please just bear with me, okay? Just bear with me. Earlier this year, okay, I was good. I had actually gotten to the point where everything was in a good position. My taxes were about to be paid correctly. I was making enough on Twitch to pay my back taxes and my current taxes every month for the first time ever in like 4 or 5 years. Like, I was actually on pace that if everything stayed the way it was, I was going to be gold. In fact, it was to the point where I was like, I might be able to start saving money. Maybe in a couple of years I could go on a honeymoon with my wife, which we never had when we got married and stuff like that. Like, this was the situation we were in. Then out of nowhere, Twitch kicks me out of the partner program for literally no reason. No justifiable reason whatsoever, provides no evidence, just says you're out, okay? Since then, yes, financially things have been tight. And I'm doing my best. If you haven't noticed, the channel here is growing, which is great. The support is growing. Everything is going positively. Now, we're at the precipice, the very beginning of constant new content. Everything Xbox Series X Game Pass I'll be playing. All the new releases are about to start hitting week after week after week. This is the time right now when, if I have a brain in my head, I would say, all right, let's hunker down. Let's do as well as I possibly can. Let's keep a positive mindset. Let's focus on putting out entertaining, fun streams for everyone. Let's build this channel back to where it's popular again. Not to say that it's ever going to be as popular if it ever was, but I would like people to think that they could come to DSP Gaming as a place to not only get on-demand gameplay, but now live streaming gameplay on a daily basis. I want more people to become regulars of the channel and support it, okay? Now is the time to focus positively on that, okay? Exactly how, if I now say, well, I need to downscale my life, so let me start thinking about moving out of my house, and what else can I say? First of all, there's nothing else to downscale personally in my life. There's nothing. I don't do any frivolous spending. I don't have time for even frivolous spending. I'm here 6 days a week full time. Where you think I go to, like, you know what I say? I guess I go on gambling trips and I blow money, and I must, you know, on my day off, I must go out on my yacht, right? There's no frivolous spending or anything here. There's no fat to cut. I already got rid of the things that were superfluous. You know, how many years people gave me shit about WWE Network and Netflix? It's all gone now. Like, all the stuff that used to be extra spending is essentially gone, okay? I'm basically going at the minimum that I can, with the exception that, like, one day a week I go out with my wife and have a nice meal, or maybe once a week we order in a meal, depending. That's about it. That's, like, the one thing a week that I get, like, pleasure out of doing outside of, you know, the normalcy of the life and being basically tight with money, because that's the one opportunity I get to do anything, okay? So, you know, really, instead of saying something ridiculous like, downsize your home and your car and your bills, all right? How about you use your brain in your head, because I know you got one up there. I know you got a brain up there. You're not dumb. And think, maybe Phil did that already. Maybe, just maybe, the fact that Phil's been in some financial troubles for years, and he just got on a good page a few months ago before Twitch screwed him, maybe he already did that stuff, right? And I've already talked many times about how basically there's no way I can do anything about this house or whatever, because guess what? Even, let's say, for example, I were to sell the house. Number one, that means I can't work. Why? Because I have to sell the house. I have to get the house ready for sale. I have to work with a real estate agent. It has to go on. I have to show the house to people and all of that. I won't be able to work. Immediate lost money. So I'm selling the house to make money to get another place, but I'm losing money because I can't work. Doesn't seem like it makes much sense, does it? Oh yeah, by the way, there's the fact that I have no credit. So I can't even go get an apartment because the second they do a credit check, my credit is abysmal and they won't approve me to get an apartment or anything. I can't buy another home because I don't have money for it. So none of this is viable. None of what you're saying is viable. Nothing. Literally, you're talking out of your butt, completely uneducated and having no idea what the fuck you're talking about and trying to get into my personal business, all right? Here's the deal. I understand that people want to try to help me. If you want to try to help me, be positive about the streams I put out. Be positive about the content I put out. Support it if you can. And that's it. Don't delve into my personal shit, because it's none of your fucking business, and you don't know about it anyway. How would you even know if it's viable for me to move? Spoiler, it's not. There's no reasonable way that I would be able to move right now. There's just no way it can happen. It's fucking possible. All right? If I was someone who had savings, someone who had credit, that's different. Then there's no excuse. You got savings, you got credit. You could easily go get another home, downscale. It's not possible. It's just not possible. Yes, it definitely makes sense to move. Stop working so you can move. Then try to find a way to set up so you can start working again at another place. Like, what are you talking about? Again, if I were someone who, like, didn't work from a home office, if I were someone who maybe I went to work, I had a job out there, and moving wouldn't affect the work, that's different. Literally, the moment that I try to decide that I'm going to, move, I can't work. The moment I do that. All right? So, I'm just going to say this one more time. Stay out of my shit. I mean it. Stay the fuck out of my personal business. You don't know better than me. You just don't. You never will. Doesn't matter all the nonsense you listen to from the fucking know-nothings on the internet who spin conspiracy theories and shit about me every day. They know nothing. They know nothing about my personal life, my expenses, what I go through on a daily basis. They don't know. I don't tell you guys everything because it's none of anyone's business to actually know every single little thing about me. You know what I'm saying? You don't need to know every piece of my personal life and business. You don't need to know about medical shit going on with me or my wife or anything like that. You don't need to know about every dollar that I spend. That Europe Gaming is dancing incredibly long. That thing danced for like 40 seconds. I'm like, damn, that thing just kept going. But anyway, the point I'm making is, no, you don't know what's really happening in my life behind the scenes because it's none of your business. So stop making ridiculous suggestions you know nothing about. No, there's absolutely no way I can move. I've already downscaled to the point where I can downscale as much as I can, and I'm stuck. That's it. I've already told you this directly on my stream before. You're just trying to make me look stupid, and you're not going to work. All right? I'm serious. It's not going to work. Don't ask dumb shit. Okay? Stop it. Right now. Okay. Let's continue. Strong Back tipped me another $2. Said there's a dialogue option with Jed titled Strong Back. Originally, you're only given 75 kilogram for weight. If you are given the option and are able to choose Strong Back, you get 100 kilograms. I think the option appears after the original notice of 75. Oh, I remember absolutely none of that. Zero. So, this should be... What I do remember about Honest Hearts, I remember that there's a bunch of, like, natives. I want to say they almost, like, feel like Native Americans, but I don't know if that's what they're supposed to be. I remember being in a canyon, and I remember them attacking you constantly, and you basically have to, like, fight them off, but I think at one point you can ally with them. I'm not sure. And, of course, I remember the Burn Demand, because he's such a unique character. Although, admittedly, I didn't remember that he was part of Caesar's Legion, who'd been outcast, and that's why he was burned. That's kind of an interesting twist, and I'm glad that we did that last time around in the game, because that'll definitely apply, to what we're doing right now. Okay? So, that's good stuff. That's very good stuff, and I'm looking forward very much to this DLC today. I hope you guys are too. All right? Good stuff coming out. Okay. Let's see here. Oh, we got more YouTube Super Chats? Okay, hold on. Let me get over there. We've got Little Crow X Gaming again did a Super Chat. Thank you very much. Iced Carl did a Super Chat and asked, was yesterday your first time ever eating Sonic? No. As I explained, basically right before I moved here, so this was 2014 when I moved to Washington State. Back in Connecticut, they had just opened up a Sonic, and I had gone there, I believe, once. And I had gotten, like, a burger and one of their drinks. It was the middle of the summer, so I got some kind of an iced drink. I think it might have been a cherry limeade, actually. So that was, like, 2014. And then I had only gone to Sonic twice ever besides that. Once, I believe it was right about when Kat had moved here, so that would have been 2018. And they had just opened up in downtown Renton. That's the town I live in. And we went there once, and I got a burger, and it was really good. And then I would argue probably once, it was definitely before COVID hit, in 2019, there was another Sonic that had opened here, and we had driven to it and done the drive-through style where they take the food to your car, and I had gotten a burger that, like, every time I remember I went there, I got the double bacon burger, and it was great. And then yesterday, it's the first time I get this burger, and it's absolutely fucking terrible, disgusting. They fucked it completely up. I seriously I cannot believe how bad that burger was, because it was completely a different experience from the other times that I had eaten Sonic. So, yeah. So this was essentially like maybe the third or fourth time that I'd eaten Sonic, but it's long time since I had it. Very long time since I had ever had it. So, Fergo did a super chat and says daily tips would double if you left this out of the stream. If you didn't notice, I'm not the one who brought it up this time. It was Snow Carl. Seriously. And by the way, again, I'd like to emphasize this is why we have a pre-stream. This is why every day... All right, I'm going to put the camera on again. Ladies and gentlemen, this is exactly why we have a pre-stream. Because if we didn't have a pre-stream, this kind of shit would constantly come up during the gameplay of my streams. Now, how many people who want to tune in to watch Fallout today think that you want to hear about fucking bullshit finances all day, right? You don't. It's the last thing you want to hear. So get it out of the way on the pre-stream, and then we can focus on the gameplay and other topics and things when we play. This is exactly why. And that's why every day when people tell me, oh, Phil, you just got to get rid of the pre-stream, I say, no. Because this is exactly why I keep it, so we can move on to the good stuff and not be hyper-focused on the bullshit behind the scenes. I don't want to be talking about this shit all day long during a fucking Fallout stream. That's why I'm glad we get it out of the way now. That's why the pre-stream makes sense. Okay? Alright, good. Europe Gaming did a super chat as love and support. Happy Sunday Fun Day. Thank you very much, Europe Gaming. I appreciate that. Gabby Stormer did a super chat saying you can work, you impose that on yourself. I work from home. I need to work from a situation where I can put out a quality stream for the viewers. No, I cannot. If I were, for example, trying to sell this house, literally half the time I have to stream would be gone because I'm the one who would have to put it on the market, make it ready for sale, be working with a real estate agent, showing it off because I'm the person who's home all day, not my wife. She has to go drive to work and everything. I'm the one who's home all day. In addition to that, moving. The entire moving process, I wouldn't be able to work. Again, if I were in a situation where I worked at an office job or I worked at a building outside of this house, I wasn't self-employed at home from a home office, you know, it would be very different. It would be incredibly different because then I could say, okay, even though, yeah, I'm spending time putting my house on the market or showing it off, I can still go to work, right? I wouldn't be able to do that. But again, you're talking out of your ass because you think you know better than me when you don't. So shut up. And thank you for the super chat. Okay. How do people who work full-time sell their houses? Because they don't work from their houses. That's how. It's exactly how. Like I just mentioned. Yes, they'll take extra time. Maybe they have to take time off of their jobs to set up to sell their house, but they don't work from their house. You see what I'm saying? They go to work, and then come home, and then they, outside of that time, work on selling their home. It's very different. But again, you have to have a brain in your head to understand it. It's apparent that some people just want to fucking bother me today and not use their heads because they're being stupid. So, it is what it is. Okay. Alright, guys. Oh, of course. See, Snowcrawl says, would you have to fix up anything? Dude, are you kidding me? If you actually want to sell a house, you have to fix it up. Absolutely. I'd have to go through this house. Essentially, I'd have to fix every room. I'd have to coat every room with a coat of paint. This room, this home office, immediately would have to be taken down, meaning all the memory foam, all the shit on the walls would all have to be cleaned up, fixed. Okay? I'd have to go through that, and you know, a lot of the house is very outdated. There's a lot of things that are falling apart, honestly, that kind of need to be renovated. So I would need money to do that. If you try to sell a house as is, what ends up happening is you make a bunch of concessions. Like, for example, if I were to sell this house as is without actually doing any improvements, people would basically say, oh, well, since it's as is, I want a cheaper price and I want this and that. You see? But again, I don't know why we're talking about putting homes on the fucking market, because this really has nothing to do with me or anything. Like, this is ridiculous. Okay? Okay. By the way, there's a lot of trolls here today. So I'm just taking care of them systematically so we don't have to deal with their bullshit. I know it's annoying when they're just sitting here saying negative stuff, guys. All we want to do is have a nice, chill, fun stream. And they got to get into my personal business. And they got to be dicks. Alright? Allow me to end the pre-stream. And summarize. Alright? Right now, guys, things are tight. Because of a result of Twitch treating me badly 2 to 3 months ago. It's a tough time every month now, the first couple of weeks. If you like my streams, please support them with tipping. This week, if things go well every stream, then great. If not, I might have to do some kind of like a fundraiser next weekend. Probably a Fallout marathon on Saturday. And that's that. That's it. That's where it ends. No, there's no selling of the house. There's no fucking bullshit with these idiots who think they know anything. They're morons. Okay? Every one of them. Fucking idiot. Yes, absolutely, Uncle Mario. He says, did the fan send you options for a chair before you bought it? Well, I didn't buy it. Oh, before he bought it. I worded that wrong. He says before he bought it. Yes, what happened was the viewer basically contacted me and said, hey, I want to help you out and get you a chair. Here's some that I found. And I said, well, actually, these are great, but I'm looking for a fabric chair. Then he found more options and sent them to me. I said, okay, but I read the reviews and here's what I found. Here's something I'm looking at. So basically, we went back and forth. The two of us went back and forth with different chairs for roughly a week, I would argue. I'm not even kidding. Probably looked at 2-3 dozen chairs, and then finally found this one. And I said, this one looks really good. Look at the features. You know, everything seems good. And then they ordered it for me. So, okay. Yeah, we went through that many chairs because that's the thing. Like I told you guys, when you're buying something on Amazon, you got to be careful. Sometimes you'll have a product that has a ton of positive reviews, and then when you actually check the details, they're like, seems like everyone reviewed it when they got it. If you keep this chair for 3 months, it falls apart. Or, oh yeah, this chair is great, except the lumbar support isn't real. It doesn't even align with your back. It's fake. It's just for show. Or the headrest doesn't actually align with your neck. It's way too low. So it's a joke for someone who's, you know. There was one chair that absolutely looked great, and I started reading the reviews. People were like, this chair's for people who are like 5'5", because I'm 6 feet tall and my knees are way up to my chest because the chair is so low to the ground and you can't adjust it. I was like, what? Jeez, man. Some of this stuff is crazy. That's why you gotta be so careful with shit you buy online, man. Okay. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, let's take a break. Alright, let's take a few minutes break. I'm gonna use the bathroom. When we come back, it's Fallout New Vegas. What we're gonna do is we're gonna finish up with Cass's plot line. We're basically reporting the Van Graffs and the Crimson Caravan Company to the NCR to see if they'll take any action against them now that we have definitive proof that they killed off her caravan line in an attempt to do a hostile takeover. Okay? So we'll see what happens. I don't remember how that quest line ends. Then we're going to start with the Honest Hearts DLC, and that's the focus for today's stream. Okay? I'll see you guys in a few. Thanks. Please take this opportunity, grab a drink or a snack, or use the restroom yourselves, and I'll be back shortly for some fun. All right? Thanks. I'll see you guys in a few.